The world after death. In this world, we are born onto a path that leads inexorably towards death. But caught up in the illusion of self-identity and the dramas of worldly conflict, we hurriedly rush to and fro, searching for wealth and fame. In the end, we find ourselves weary to the depths of our spirit, grieving our lack of any notable accomplishment. Perhaps there is no crisis more severe. Crushed by striving and desire, we at last come to sense the fleeting and precious nature of life. But we can neither present it slipping into oblivion, nor extend it into eternity. Thus we pass our days in a fog of confusion and despair. In the midst of such confusion, many people begin to explore the concept of a life after death, as they seek to understand the why of existence and whether or not death is really the end. Certainly, if we are as practical as we say we are, we should seriously ask ourselves, what is the future state towards which I am travelling? Though many of us shun such questions or equivocate about their importance, they inevitably hover in the back of our consciousness. If we are honest, we will see that the answers are vital compared with the solutions to worldly problems. We may discover how to raise the world's standard of living, or how to speedily advance scientific and technological progress. But answering the problem of death is immeasurably more important because it determines the quality of our approach to life and the sorts of values we adopt. From time immemorial, the answer to the riddle of death has been the purview of religion. Looking at humanity's vast array of spiritual traditions, there seems to be a single point of agreement. Death is not the end. Surely, such commonly held insight can bestow on life a wholly ultimate significance and move people to embrace a deeper vision of the future. But following the bold advances made by the sciences, especially evolutionary, biology, astronomy, and physics, many people have come to believe that a comprehensive, final understanding of life and death, the universe and existence itself, is soon within our grasp. Because of this, the insights of religion are devalued and displaced by a materialistic view of life. It's no surprise, then, that those who believe death to be our ultimate destination are growing in conviction and numbers. The fact, however, is that the reach of science has exceeded its grasp, for as close as scientific inquiry has brought us to understanding life and death, the creed of materialism is ultimately faith-based. From a limited and sometimes poorly interpreted body of evidence, scientists have made a philosophical inference about the nature of reality and then proceeded to confirm it with the same limited body of evidence. Observations and data will not conform to the established dogma, are either ignored or discredited. In the grand sweep of history, it was not so long ago that we believed the heavens to be comprised of nested spheres and the sun to revolve around the earth. These models of reality were eventually corrected and surpassed. Isn't it arrogance to think that our current models will not be? It may be time for science to regain a sense of humility and realize that our comprehension of the universe is still superficial. There are many dimensions to human experience which lie beyond our current understanding. Among those which pose the most direct challenge to the materialist paradigm are cases involving spirits, hauntings, near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, and all varieties of psychic phenomena, including past life regressions and memories. They are found throughout history, in all corners of the world, and transcend differences in culture, religion, and technological development. Even today, in spite of widespread rational skepticism, such phenomena have not abated. Human beings seem to regularly have experiences which, as of yet, science cannot explain. Could it be that there is something about the riddle of existence being revealed to us in these mysteries? But it's not only the physical science that have given us a partial and imperfect view of reality. Philosophy has also failed to provide us with an understanding equal to our situation. When faced with the pressing reality of death, the most profound thinkers on earth are no different than the rest of us. Arthur Schopenhauer, a German philosopher who had steadfastly denied that there is an afterlife, was said to have called out as he approached his end, "Ah, God, my God!" The doctor looking after him asked, "Sir, does your philosophy include God?" He replied, "Although my philosophy has done away with God, I myself am helpless in the face of crisis. My sufferings torment me, and philosophy is of no avail. If my illness could be healed completely, then I would certainly engage in an entirely different branch of study." This exchange allegedly took place shortly before he died. France's most famous atheist, Voltaire, when approaching his end with much pain and struggle, fixed his eyes on a certain spot in the room and said, "Look, there is a demon come to take me. Ah, I see hell. How terrifying! Somebody, anybody, help me." Desperately shouting in this way, he died. Friedrich Nietzsche, born in 1844, was a German philosopher who preached the maxim, "God is dead." In his philosophy, traditional morality was rendered meaningless by the impersonal forces of natural selection, competition, and evolution. The person who emerged as the fittest survivor and who broke free from values based on mystical otherworldliness was, in Nietzsche's view, a Superman. The Superman's will to power was superior to that of his fellows and would allow him to be the forger of new ethics. Only by breaking the fetters of religion could one finally accomplish nature's purpose. As Nietzsche believed religion to be an enfeebling force leading to nature's deselection of the meek and mild. Nietzsche's occupation was as a teacher, and he was made a professor at Basel University when he was only 25 years old. However, he was later troubled by schizophrenia and suffered all kinds of mental torments. In the year 1900, after a nervous breakdown and a series of strokes, he died. It may be easy for some of us to point fingers at these men and deride their efforts as foolishness. But we are all in the very same boat. We are all subject to endless delusions. Many of us believe that death is the end of suffering, or that there is no life after death. But when approaching life's end, the heart's darkness expands, and many are the men and women of science and philosophy who have perceived, within that darkness, the fires of hell. At that moment, our cleverness and intelligence are worth nothing. Our bravery is blown away like a shred of smoke, and our hearts can only issue a mournful wail. Thank you, Namor Army 24.